Welcome back to episode 5 of Sandbox Sessions. Today we've got a jam-packed episode spotlighting all things entrepreneurship. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rachel. I'm all things operations here at Recess.
My name is Taylor. I'm one of the co-founders of Recess.
My name is Evan, co-founder of Recess. And this is John Rosenberg. And, if you don't already know, huge serial entrepreneur, big name in Dallas, founder or co-founder of White Unicorn? Co-founder of White Unicorn. And then just a master of many, many things. Also someone that I've worked with in the past to get my old gym concept up and going, which didn't work out. So here we are.
Yeah.
And John, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, that what serial entrepreneur means and what Unicorn is, and
Sure. Yeah. Some people know this or not. I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa. Thought I was going to be a professional soccer player. So that was kind of like, I had a twin brother, and that's kind of like what we did. Got to college and realized pretty quickly, you're not that good. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be the next David Beckham. Right. You probably won't be a professional soccer player. Mm-hmm. Hit me like my sophomore year in college. And I said, maybe I want to take my academics seriously. And I transferred to Texas, and I focused on the MIS program. I was good with computers and business. And I go, I'm going to do something in business. I don't know what. And I ended up doing some consulting for several years. And then during that journey, I considered myself an entrepreneur, but I hadn't done anything. So I was the guy who was like, let me tell you about this other idea. Okay. Let me tell you about this other idea. But I was also the person who's just not doing it. I just kept going back to my job. And I said, hey, you probably should do something at some point. So I stepped away from that job. And I've always wanted to start companies from scratch. I don't know why. My parents obviously brought us over here, gave us a lot of opportunity, and I realized I'm going to take on a lot of risks, so now's the time to do it. And of all the things, I ended up starting a beverage company with a buddy.
KOA.
Koa, yeah.
Koa.
We did Koa. We freshly squeezed fruits and vegetables in California. Okay. No sugars, no calories, no additives. We were ahead of our time, but we did a lot of the bad things. A lot of the stuff I know now, I wish I could go back and repeat that we did. But did that, opened up several bars and restaurants, event centers, helped my dad and brother with our family business.
That was the Fitness Busybody, wasn't it?
So it was
Busybody Fitness.
Busybody, Fitness in Motion, and Fitness Headquarters. Right. So there were residential and commercial for all of Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of what this podcast is about is entrepreneurship and business growth development. I know when Evan and I started at Recess, it was a huge goal of ours to come into the market, create a big splash. Of course, that required a large marketing budget, and I've always understood it as the next biggest expense, aside from your operating cost, should be your marketing budget. What have you seen challenges in marketing as it's changed over the years? I mean, if there's anyone I think that could weigh in on that, it would be you.
I think you said a couple things there. I think some people always underestimate. They spend all the money going, if I build this thing, everyone's going to come to it, mm-hmm. right? I'm doing it. I care about it, so everyone else is going to care about it.
That's what I would always say. Yeah. Like, if you build it, they will come. A Field of Dreams.
No one gives a shit. They don't. We all care about it. So the fact that you have to do that first, that's a big investment. But then second, they're focusing on like, no, I really have got to market this thing. Mm-hmm. Especially if there's, it's not new. Like I've White Unicorn Agency. There's a million of other agencies. So why do you want to come to me? So you've got to kind of tell that story over and over again. And I think people underestimate the effort that's always involved. What's changed over the years is just so many different ways to do that. Back in the day, if you just had a website, you could be good to go. Mm-hmm. I grew up with social media. I grew up with Facebook, then eventually Instagram. There's a generation growing up with that's all they know is TikTok. They've never even seen how social media has changed and what we've gone through in the landscape. So there's so many different avenues now that we're all looking at. Mm-hmm. And I think depending on the business that you're in, which one makes the most sense. But there's just so many things happening all the time, which is crazy.
I was just going to ask, since you kind of dabbled in so many different pots with your agency, and now you really kind of know what your market and your niche is, what do you think is proprietary about your agency at this point?
I can say that out loud. Nothing. Like there's nothing different than what other agencies probably do. What I try and say that we do is I feel like we focus on solving a business problem. I think some other agencies, because I used to hire them in my earlier days, and I go, what's missing? And I go, I fundamentally want to talk about the business first and then see what the solutions we have. So we focus on that. Like we're focusing on a problem. I don't think I'm slinging websites or going, how do I just get you to buy a logo? I really want to understand what you're doing and where you are in your life cycle and to figure out how we could be a part of that. And sometimes we're not the answer. Sometimes we're like, hey, go over here. But a lot of the times there's so many things that we can do, and we want to talk about where you are in that journey and how we might be able to help. So
You've done that. I was, looking at some of the companies that you help. Some are companies that are already established in a huge industry in the car washes with Carnation.
Yeah.
Did they come to you and say, hey, John, here's the issue. The three of us get our car wash down the street at Carnation. It's a great car wash.
Yeah, sure is.
What were can you disclose their pain points?
Yeah, it was actually great. There was a private equity firm that was expanding and took over the Carnation, and they had followed some of other work. So we just started having conversations about their business, and it led to how we might be able to help them grow. They're very focused on selling a great product and taking their time and doing it well. And they think that a lot of people just think about the car wash, they just overlook. Just go anywhere, just the one that's in your neighborhood. They were really focused on giving you a good experience and finding great locations and then adding complementary services to it. And we said, okay, when you do that, let's talk about all the things that related to the business. And we focused a lot on the digital presence, like some things that overlooked, like a great website experience, which in turn hopefully can turn around for sales and memberships and on and on. But we just had great conversations about expanding their business and how we may be able to help, and it resonated. So,
well, the Carmel Car Wash used to be there, and Carnation came in and took over. And Carnation is far better experience.
Better experience.
Kudos on that.
Good, yeah.
When did you co-found White Unicorn? What year was that?
It was April 2016. I met my co-founder, Brooks Johnson. I was opening up a bar with some buddies called High Fives. And during that time, I'm always tasked with we had the name, do the menu, do the websites, do all that stuff, create it. And they go, we've got a buddy in Deep Ellum, go chat with him. I was like, I'm good. We do the same thing. And so I eventually did meet the guy, and we kind of hit it off. He had a small agency at the time called Aesthetic Cogency. And we discussed working together for High Fives. Like I said, did the website, did the menus, help with graphic design, social, just a bunch of stuff. We kind of hit it off. What he didn't realize is I was thinking about doing other stuff besides bars and restaurants. I never thought about expanding these to other cities. I liked what we had here because I thought I understood Dallas. But that wasn't my calling. I liked what we were doing. But what I really liked was, over the years, I was talking to so many people. You meet a ton of people when you have event spaces and bars and restaurants. You just meet a lot of people. And I had fun helping them in their businesses. I think it's just naturally what I would be doing, whether it's with White Unicorn or not. I think part of what I still like doing is the consulting thing I got into beginning, solving problems and helping people. And this was kind of like a perfect fit for all of it. And then at the same time, as you guys probably know, I don't have to worry about the operations. That's your problem.
And you and Brooks Johnson, when you started that, you pretty quickly, I think, got some pretty high-profile clients there. It was Nick and Sam's.
Yeah.
You also had, was it Michael Kors?
Michael Kors, yeah.
So those are huge acquisitions for you, too. I'm sure you probably both felt like you were doing the right thing at that point.
Oh, we thought we were great. Yeah, things were going great. We started with 2 people, then 3, then 4. We started doing just graphic design work. And then we said, how do we keep helping out companies? They go, oh, well, now they need websites. Okay, let's get a web designer. Let's get a web developer. Well, what do you put on a website? You need photography. You need a videography. Let's get a photographer. Let's get a videographer. Oh, the words matter. Let's get a copywriter, right? So we just started adding things on to make our services better over the years. We have about 35 now talented people to kind of, as we've gotten better at servicing our clients, we wanted to help them more and do more things, and we want to get good at that. So
One thing I was gonna say, I got to work with you early on with City Gym. Do you remember that? The first time we met, and it was right around. Do you remember the logo?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was right around that time. And it's an awesome looking logo, and we'll put it up on the screen maybe later. But one thing I was gonna say that you were, that I could say was your team was incredible. So I think maybe if there was something that sets White Unicorn apart, at least like it certainly did in your early days when I worked with you, and was your team was fantastic. Everyone was so professional, and it seemed like everybody who was there was the best at what they were doing at the time. And I can only imagine, and you might have had like half the amount of employees you have now. I can only imagine that it's gotten even better, but it's certainly like, I think perhaps your skill above other things maybe is like having just such a great team. It's certainly like the only reason I think Taylor and I have been as successful as we are is we just got lucky enough to like get the right people around us. And when you have a great brand, that tends to happen organically, or maybe there's some kind of secret sauce to that.
No, I've always thought that if you're going to do something big and great, you can't do it yourself. I've always liked having a partner to kind of bounce ideas with. But then if you're going to do something, we wanted to make sure we are a team. Like I do my part and they do their part. Part of what we like to do is make sure we hire talented, smart people so they can do great work. And I took away the things that we thought that they hated to do. They don't like sales. They don't care about invoices and timesheets. They just want to do great work. So our job was finding amazing projects for them to work on, put other smart, talented people next to each other, give them good technology and a fun project, and let's see what they can do. Easier said than done, but that's kind of been what we've focused to do. And I go, if I was the person focused on your brand or your website or your product, it's going to be terrible. I think I can be okay, but not as good as someone who's really good at that, right? Everyone on our team specializes in kind of everything we do, but they're also very good at several other things. So a well-rounded team has helped us get where we are, but we're nothing without the team. I mean,
yeah, that's cool. That's cool to hear you say.
So you've got this awesome team. You feel like you're really good at going in and kind of diagnosing problems maybe, or like pain points or gaps that a business might have. What helps a brand actually stand out once you've kind of gotten your fingers in there?
It's tough. I think for us, because we're industry neutral, it depends on the type of business we're talking about. So it's very hard for me to answer like a generic, what's the one thing that stands out? I think the biggest thing is everyone's looking for like a silver, like this one thing. If I just do this one thing, it's going to be great. And that's where I kind of try and say, no, I think everyone's doing a lot, but you've got to actually focus on everything that you can control in your business. And I call it like spinning plates, right? You want to have a beautiful space. You want to have all the right equipment. Then you got to get good staff. Then you want to have great parking. Then you want to go, let's pick up our merch game. Let's make sure our studio is good. Let's make sure we've got good bathrooms. But I go, you can start looking at that whole list and go, if we just focused on, let's have a space with some gym equipment and check that box and go, let's see if people come. You go, versus focusing on everything else, that full experience of someone coming in here. And I think that's something I talk about a lot, is that there's just no silver bullet to any of this stuff. I think there's a lot of things we've got to do with the hope that maybe we'll do well. It's still not guaranteed, right? And I think that's just, business is tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think all those ingredients, like you said, are huge, and I'm super new to the whole process here with Recess. I think we all feel like Recess is probably the best name the fitness industry has ever seen.
It's a great name.
I think so, because it's, represents the time of the day where people go out on a playground and hang out, and what we as adults kind of forget. But then as we start to come back and work out, it works synonymous with a time that you use the experience that was so great. I also think that it is the kind of thing that could become a household name, and maybe I'm biased because it's our baby, but people talk about Kleenex, and they're talking about tissue paper, right? I remember, and I've said it in our first podcast, I remember someone walking through the door, he was on the phone, and he was like, hey, I'm at Recess, and I knew immediately that the person on the other end of that phone knew what he was talking about. What do you think about our brand and the little that you know about it so far? I mean, if there's anyone I would really value that criticism and feedback from, it'd be John Rosenberg.
No, I love it, and I think I got it right away. It's that like childhood wonder, getting out. Like that was, as someone who's also into sports and just getting outside as a kid, just love that time. So it kind of hits that nerve right away. But then for me, I think it's always more like my expectation. Like once you come in, I think you have an opportunity. If I walked into an empty white space that kind of looked run down, my opinion of everything might have been terrible. What you do online also might change my opinion. So the name is a starting point for me, and then what you do with it fills out the rest. But you kind of nailed it all. The great name, great team, great space. So for me, it's kind of like.
You seen our website?
I have.
Okay, all right. Any critiques? Any changes?
No, not on air. No.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll get some free feedback. We got you on the spot.
You did an interview a few years back with Rye 51. Matt Alexander did that, and he was asking about your client list and where you thought it would expand. Granted, I don't know what year that interview took place, but you made the comment. He said, whether your businesses are here in Dallas or wherever they are, kind of this is where you're rooted. How do you see yourself expanding over time?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll have worldwide clients? I kind of already know the answer there. You said, I think by the end of 2017, you knew you would. From that interview then to now, how do you feel like things have changed for you? That was about eight years ago.
It's crazy because I still think about us as like a startup. I think I'm in denial that we're like 9 years old, almost 10. Like, oh wow, we're like a real company.
Yeah.
No, I'm proud. I'm actually proud about what we've done. We've organically grown. It's just us. We didn't take outside money. We don't have a firm behind us. We try to do it one client at a time. We do good work for good people. And when I look up and see the roster and the clients that we associate ourselves with, I'm very proud about that. Yeah. The irony with that conversation is we're trying to figure out what does the next 5-10 years look like, and what do we want to do, and we're always looking to get better. So we're having that conversation every day. We don't just sit back and go, oh, things are great. Like to your point earlier, I still have that like, oh, we've got to keep doing something or we won't exist. Because at the end of the day, there's a million other companies that do what we do. So to stand out, I think we're always trying to prove ourselves. But the best way we can do it, we always start with ourselves and making sure we can help our clients. Like that's our first, and then we'll focus on the marketing or how we're getting our word out, which I still think we can even do a better job at. So.
Have you made it back to any business help or consulting in South Africa from your hometown?
No. Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Coming
soon.
No, we would. We would love to. I think if that's what's so fun. Depending on where a business is or who we're knowing, who we work with, they could be anywhere. We're doing stuff all over the U.S. We've got a couple people outside, but as we expand, we haven't made an effort yet to go. Let's go get this company that like exists in South America, or let's go do that. But we certainly want to get better at what we're doing, and I don't know if that's defined by like where we do it with, just maybe who the clients are.
Sure. So. You'd also asked another question. I think really he had asked it begs for a follow up. As you had mentioned, any types of industries you wanted to get into. Yeah. You replied music at the time. Get into the music industry. You've been able to do that?
We haven't, and we didn't. So I don't know why I said that. I think I was selfishly. I've always loved music. Yeah. And I thought there was something cool that we could do there. But we did do something for a hot minute with a company that was doing blockchain licensing for, it's very complicated, it's probably over my head, in the music industry, and how they handle licensing rights all through this blockchain. And we helped with messaging and branding. This is a long time ago. And they built this platform. Again, it's a little over my head, but we've got a client that does some of that stuff. But no, indirectly, one of the ones I've always loved is hospitality. Restaurants, bars, and hotels. So I don't know if we had any hotels work back then, but it's been super cool to kind of get our hands in. Hotels are like little cities for us. You can do so much with the experience. There's retail, there's restaurants, there's bars, and there's also all kinds of different stuff that you could do on the property.
Have you stayed at the Swexen?
I have. Yeah.
Oh man, it's my favorite hotel in Dallas.
It's a great one. Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, they did really good.
Yeah.
One of you've done a lot of things. Been involved in a lot of things. I've been to, I think, all of the bars or restaurants or supper clubs or it's so unique. It's hard to put a name to some of the things. One of those being Colombian Country Club, my favorite place in Dallas. I don't know how big of a part of that you are. I know I've seen pictures of you in there when it was guts and building the thing out. So I know you're a huge part. Can you tell us about Colombian Country Club, how it came about, what the name is, how you got such a great looking place and, such a successful place like that when you didn't really even want to do bars anymore?
Yeah, I think it was a friend of yours wanted to start a bar and you had almost no interest in doing it. Yeah. And I think you guys took a trip to New York. Yeah. And then the rest, then you were in.
The rest is history. Good buddy of mine who, prior to White Unicorn, we'd dabbled with other people in other bars and restaurants together. Always had a group of guys that we've done cool stuff with. And then my best friend came to me and said, hey, I found this space. We should do a bar together. And I was like, oh, good one. He's like, no, seriously, I've already signed the LOI. I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, it's real.
So he starts like kind of telling me, he knows how to he goes, come check out the space. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, nothing special. And then he's like, no, let's go to New York. Let's talk about it. But we've always talked about ideas anyway, regardless of this particular place, of like where we want to hang out and what we want to do. But yeah, we did. We took the designers, went to New York, waited 24 hours. We hit up a bunch of spots that we wanted to go check out, to kind of get like inspiration, or see that we haven't seen stuff that we haven't seen maybe here. And then we came back, and we always want to do something for Dallas. I don't think we're not that smart to do things in other cities. I think we've grown up here. So as a generation that's growing up here, we thought that there was maybe a miss between like where can we hang out, a place maybe before dinner or after, or not so much dinner, but like a good vibe, like a cocktail bar that's not attached to a hotel. Yeah. So that was like the premise. And then we said, well, how are we going to define the rest? We go, we just want to have killer music, back to the home music. So we want to have music 6 nights a week, live music. We don't want bottle service. We don't want to be membership only. We just want to make a cool place that other people want to go to.
Okay.
So
we were, in fact, we had just got done eating in the design district for Rachel's birthday. Where was that? Where were we eating? What was the name of that Italian store? Carbone. Yeah. And then afterwards, we were trying to figure out a place to go because Evan had been to Columbia Country Club an unlimited amount of times. I can't even remember. Dude, it was just he was always like, "You got to come, you got to come." And I had since gone with him, and then Rachel hadn't been.
I've been hearing about it for forever.
And I go, "Well, we got to take her for her birthday." And we were all excited. We drove over there. We got in the parking lot. I think it was a one night you guys were closed. I was like, "Oh,
maybe a private event or something.
I think it was a Monday. Okay.
That's
it was a Monday.
You know, I think
that's hilarious. Sorry.
I think, especially imitation. You hear the word that imitation is about the highest form of flattery. Yeah. I remember Evan and I were creating this studio and trying to come up with different finish outs. So we had some pain points. I can't imagine that creativity isn't a huge part of your personality trait that you possess that makes the White Unicorn as successful as it is. So that was our speakers, and we were trying to come up with a way. We looked at clips. Evan suggested that brand, but we couldn't get the output we needed here in the studio. How are we going to come up with a new speaker that had this old design around it? So we both brainstormed and figured we would get a box built around it and just have a gold frame put into it. And I remember going to Columbia Country Club with Evan, and he points up. He's like, "Look at their speakers."
We did that.
I know, but I'm like, do you recognize these at all? Yeah. All right. Well, I'll take it as a compliment.
So yeah.
Well, I remember standing down here with the AV guys, and they it was XYZ Audio Video, and they were asking, "Hey, like, how'd you guys do those speakers? You know, what company did that for you?" He's like, "We're doing this nightclub in Dallas right now, and I would like to do that for them." And I was like, it's a small world. And when Evan pointed it out, I'm like, I wonder if it's the same company. Yeah. I actually texted him this morning. I was like, "Hey, did you guys do the audio video for Columbia?" They're like, "We did." I'm like, "Okay."
I can find out. Yeah, no. Definitely my buddy Brian. He actually was like, "Hey," he saw these other speakers, and he was like, "We should do the same thing."
They came out great.
They came out great.
Good.
Yeah. You've been in a lot of different things. Is there one challenge or lesson that keeps coming up, or that was the most important that carried you on into other ventures that you can point out? Challenge or lesson, or both?
It's tough. I think for me, I've always got to be 100% into it. I don't think I was always driven by money. So when something did well, you would think, "Oh, you can stick around and keep doing that." I got a little bored and wanted to do something else. I probably should have kept staying in all the other things I did. I've always just wanted to be 100% dedicated to something and into it. Like same with the bars and restaurants. That was a fun ride, but I go, that's not my passion. I don't want to do that. And passion is probably not the right word. I go, that's just not something I get excited to do every day. For me, I even remember it was my old job. I looked on the wall, and I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I looked at the wall, and I was like, say, 7:30 in the morning. And I thought like an hour passed. It was like 7:35. Dang. I was like, shit. You're not in a good place. Like several weeks of that. My litmus test for what I'm doing right now, I'm always worried about how we're doing and profitability and the company and all that good stuff, but is also how fast the weeks are flying by. I wake up on a Monday and I'm like ready to go. And come Friday, I'm like, holy shit, it's already, the week's over. I can't believe it. So for me, that's still it reminds me of just like what's important to me. I don't have this like whimsical view of the perfect life that I'm going to have to do the one thing that I love to do and everything's going to be rosy and great. I want to work at something, I want to enjoy it, but like that test for me is like how fast the weeks fly by was just always something I remembered, and I think it was because I had a job when I just looked at the wall and I looked at the clock and I was like, time stood still, and I was like,
so cool.
I need to get out of that.
Yeah.
So
That's a really great answer. That's great. I haven't heard many people say that or put it that way as a litmus test to you being in the right spot. I think most people are driven by money, and then if that is your driving factor, eventually it's going to catch up, right? And you're not always going to be successful when that's the main focus. Certainly when you don't.
I've definitely had lots of things that haven't worked. My beverage company, for me, it worked. If I get into the real story of that, it was a success. But on paper, it was a flop. I've been a part of other concepts that haven't done well and closed. But I'm excited to try things. Obviously, we don't create something that hope it fails, so that's never fun. But always trying to improve and do better and start stuff. But there's definitely times where we've touched things or been a part of stuff that have not worked out.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it would be weird if that wasn't the case, right? I like to think that's kind of how Taylor and I are, and it sounds like you got a really great partner that you do well together and you complement one another well. And like, so I was talking to you earlier, and we were saying how Taylor and I just came up with a business idea yesterday.
It's going to be good. It's a current pain point.
On the next podcast.
On the next
new
one.
idea.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple podcasts.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Hopefully, it's just like an organic thing. You have different service providers and pain points of a business that you're trying to streamline, and you kind of look at it and go like, maybe we can make this better. And I think.
Can I say it? That's it?
Sure, man.
Yeah.
The towel? The towel?
Yeah,
The towel.
It's your linen company.
So yeah,
No brainer.
I think we could run a fantastic one. I think I came up with a pretty brilliant name yesterday that just says like, this is your new linen service provider in Dallas. And I already know from Rachel better than me, my goodness, all the issues we deal with towels and the demand for towels and the folding the towels and the way we want them folded and how often we need them delivered and how much of a
the way they smell,
the way they
quality
smell,
of the threaded
exactly.
count.
How much storage space does this company have? How do we accommodate to each company's needs? And so, it's
I love that kind of
just
stuff.
I was designing how the truck is going to look, when it's rolling around Dallas.
But I still think in that way, like the same way you guys probably do, is you have a pain point, it affects your business, so it's just a natural thing to talk about. And then you start talking about it, you go, well, shit, that's actually a pretty good idea. Like, let's keep talking about it. And that is how a lot of businesses do start. But especially when you're creating something completely new. Like, you never got into this to get into towels.
No.
But
Ever.
it might be it could be the biggest thing you guys do. I have no idea, right? But those are huge moments you turn around and go, is anyone else looking at this business? No, it's an unsexy business that I think can be redone, and who knows if you guys would be the recess towel?
I think so.
Recess towel.
Recess towel.
Even better.
We got a better name.
I think I fucked that up.
So good. We'll tell you after the podcast. I think you'll
Recess
dig it.
beverage company. They already got that, but
Okay, well, I was going to say, as an entrepreneur, you're probably one of those people where your mind kind of never turns off.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how you have an incredible business partner.
Graham.
And yeah.
Graham.
Brooks.
Brooks.
Johnson. Yeah, Brooks Johnson. Okay.
But we're social media sleuthing. You recently got married,
I did.
right?
Yeah.
So that's your partnership on the other side.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you're able to kind of manage that work-life balance with kind of like a job that never sleeps and being like newlywed and all that?
Ooh, I don't think I do a good job. If that makes sense. She's been great. She's actually helped me figure out my day. I used to work out after work, which is a terrible idea, by the way, because I can come with a million reasons not to, or go get a drink or whatever. So now I wake up at 5 and do all that. But no, you have a partner that you're going through life. So I'm at a stage in my life where I don't think I'm as selfish as I might have been previously. So I want to share my life with someone and do more things. So, but yeah, there comes with struggles of I'm either doing more with the family or with her or the company or not myself. So I feel like I'm never, like, talk about I haven't figured this out. And we don't have kids yet. And I look at all my friends who have kids and I go, how do you do it? I don't understand how you do it.
You guys have a dog.
We have a dog who's
like a kid.
I think so, unless you talk to someone with a kid and they look at you. Come on. So honestly, just trying to figure it out. Yeah, I don't have that figured out. I don't know. Don't think I have work-life balance figured out there at all. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I gotta say, Rachel was showing me this reel. Your Whitney, and she was putting on makeup.
Yeah.
And they were talking, and you were doing the narration.
Voiceover.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. She'll come up to me. She's like, "Hey, I got to do this thing," and she just starts recording me, and I just start doing stuff with her. I find it fun. I mean, I think what she does is funny. I like it. It's a humor, and she kind of can get that. So a lot of time, I think she's so bored of like filming herself doing something, she actually finds it funny. Thank God that maybe I'm funny, that I can help her do some stuff. So I have fun with it. Yeah, I don't take it too seriously.
No, I was sitting there laughing. That was great.
You know, I watch some of those videos. I'm like, they're all so serious. Man, it's just fucking makeup. Like, you guys just like do some shit. Like, so I don't know.
That's hilarious.
That's good. John, when are you going to become a member of Recess? Whitney says you should go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
You should probably come to Recess in the morning.
Great question. I actually appreciate the tour. I came a little early.
Good.
I love the space. And again, it goes back to like awareness and being a part of it. Coming to something is still different than seeing it online, right? And we balance that with the companies that we work with. But even at work, I try and get people to come to our studio, and they go, "Oh, everything clicks." Yeah. I can talk about what I do all day long, but when someone's in our studio, they go, "Oh, I get it now. Now I know what you do." Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm still the same thing. If I walked into a place, like, "Oh, this is great," and I also told them I live closer now, so hopefully we'll see me.
Yeah. Good.
Got a week on the house when you're ready, brother. Yeah. And we got classes. I don't know if you do classes, but our classes is the best. Yeah.
Awesome.
Ooh, how does everybody work with White Unicorn, and what's the next step if somebody's listening and they're like, this guy's the guy that's missing from my brand, from my company?
Yeah, I think for us, usually if there's a pain point, there's some kind of challenge that you're dealing with, it's a great reason to potentially be a client. And where I'm going with that is a lot of companies have like maybe their executive team is changing and they go, we're not the same company who we were that we need to be for the next 50 years. What does that look like? What does that mean for us? That is a great shift to like engage with someone like us to go help them with messaging and their new look and feel and what they're going to be about. So I always look for that change in the business. If the business is running and doing their thing, there's not usually like you've done a lot of the things that we can help. You've done branding, you've got your sites, you've got your team, you're doing a lot of the stuff. So there's usually a problem or some kind of change within the business. And then we might be able to step in and try and help.
I mean, even now, and I was watching one thing you were doing, and I mean, it obviously came up, and there was one company, I can't recall what it was, but they needed a Christmas cup.
Man. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, everything from cups, I mean, it is pretty full spectrum about what you're able to tap in and do with your company.
They're a fast casual restaurant company. They have about 100 locations, and we're helping them scale and grow, and we do a lot of their digital and social. We did a huge rebrand for them. They just got acquired, but they just come to us with the problems like, "Oh, hey, the holidays are coming up. We need to do this, come up with some ideas." Mm-hmm. So I actually like to think of us as like an idea factory. So we go, "Hey, what about these animated cups?" When they're like, "We love it. Let's go."
It was a cool
so
cup.
We kind of, once we become a partner, we want to be able to help in any which way and come up with cool ideas to help. So.
I've just started to get to know John Rosenberg over the past week. I've heard Evan talk about it. White Unicorn Agency has a huge client list. I mean, there's Greenpoint, Oyster. Yeah. I mean, I wrote them all down last night. You had the High Fives involvement, the Colombian Country Club. The Clifton Club.
Is Nuri on there?
Nuri, Steakhouse was on there. Yeah. It was an impressive list. I'm sure I'm leaving some out.
Yeah, no, I think it's fun that we got we love the restaurant hospitality space because people eat and dine, and it helps us too. But yeah, we're touching so many businesses that people have no clue about, from tech companies to other startups. Some of our best work no one's even seen yet.
Cool.
So we're doing all kinds of things from packaging to a gin company. Like I said, doing a lot more now in the hotel space, but being industry neutral, we are helping out so many more companies than you would think. We show a lot and we talk about the sexy ones, but we try and help out a lot of others too.
That's great.
Really cool. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks for stopping by Sandbox Sessions. Thank you, John, for stopping by, man. This was awesome. This is what Sandbox Sessions is all about. People like you. So thank you so much. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere that you find your podcast, and check out White Unicorn.
Appreciate it.
On
Thanks
Google.
for having me.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.